Hey, it's your girl Mac. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Welcome to my channel. This is Mac Reviews. I do reviews of 90 Day Fiance and Love After Lockup, and whenever they come back, a couple other scripted shows. Thanks for joining me. If you enjoy this video, please like, comment, and subscribe so you can see my videos when they come out every week. So I'm gonna talk real quick about last night's episode of Happily Ever After, 90 Day Fiance. Not a lot happened, but let's get to it. Still a decent episode. I'm gonna talk about Larissa and Colt. Don't know why they're on this season, but I mean I know why. I think the producers believe that we're interested in them, but we're not. But anyways, Colt and his new girlfriend. I guess they're on girlfriend boyfriend status. They're official. They they're talking. I guess they're resolving their disagreement about him not wanting her to go out the night before. They make up. Good for them. And yeah, they started dancing, which was not enjoyable to see. I did not want to see him dancing, but dancing is dancing. They were having fun, I guess. And yeah, that was it. Oh, he's gonna meet her family. She wants him to fly to Brazil with her to meet her family. I don't know at this point how long they've been dating. They said I love you to each other. I don't know how long they've been together. I don't know any of those details. So I was like, oh, y'all boyfriend girlfriend? You're in love? Wasn't this the first time they were meeting? Had they met before? I don't know. Anyways, so I can't stand Cold. I will say that they seem to communicate decently, but I can't tell if she's a Larissa number two, like if she just wants an opportunity to stay in the States because he was like, oh, I want to explore this with you, but what happens when your visa expires? And she was like, I don't know, maybe I'll get a study visa, like if she was going to go to school, or maybe K1, so I don't know. And so yeah, Larissa goes out on a blind date that her friend set her up on. Now, at first, when they showed this guy, I was like, "This guy is this guy gay? Okay, or is he an escort?" But then, as the date went on and he talked, I was like, "Oh, okay, he's okay." So he was asking her some pretty normal questions. What are you looking for? What are your values? Things like that. Larissa was not ready for this date. She was not prepared. I was surprised, but I wasn't when he asked her, "What are you looking for in a man or a relationship?" I think she said citizenship, and I was like, so. And she was nervous. She said when she gets nervous, she like gets talkative, and she told him about being arrested and all this stuff, and he said, "Oh, tell me about the legal problems or something." So I was like, "Oh, he already knew. Did the producers already tell him? Did the friend already tell him?" So, but part of me is like, he wouldn't have shown up to this date if he already knew about that. So, but she just laid everything out there. I don't think she should have. I don't do that. I mean, I don't have any convictions or children or anything like that, but now children is kind of something you do have to say as early as possible. You can't really hide that, but the concern was why her kids are not here with her. But she just didn't make the best first impression, and she wasn't really prepared, it seemed like, to talk about what it is she wants in a relationship. And I don't know what Larissa wants in a relationship. But yeah, so that was their segment. Then she said the date didn't really go that well, which it didn't. Guy didn't get back to her, and because he said that he couldn't tell if she was looking for a real relationship connection or if she just wanted a green card. And he actually did seem serious. He seemed like he actually was looking for a relationship. His whole vibe and the effort he made and everything, I was like, oh, this dude actually seems legit. So Larissa, may have missed out, but there wasn't no connection between them anyway. So She goes to see the friend. I don't know if it's the same friend that set her up. I think it is. This friend happens to be someone who does cosmetic procedures. And I'm like, of course, that's how she met her. um, oh, my closet door is open. Okay. So, yeah, she's doing some procedure where it tightens your muscles or something. And I was like, But yeah, so she tells the friend that she saw online that called as a new girlfriend, and she was like, "Oh, maybe I should contact the girl to warn her about call." And then the friend was like, "Why would you do?" And then she asked her like, "Are you jealous? Like, do you want to try to ruin their relationship?" She's like, "No, I'm not jealous." So then, why do you want to call the girl? Sounds like manufactured TV drama. Anyways, so next is Andre and Libby. Can't stand these two. I used to be able to tolerate Libby, but the fact that she enables Andre's foolishness is making me dislike her. I mean, I really wasn't in love with her. She was okay. I'm not feeling her sisters. So she goes to, oh, they're talking to Andre's parents over video call. And he tells them that, they're getting ready to come there. They bought tickets. They asked how long they're going to stay there. He tells them 3 weeks. And apparently they didn't discuss that. They didn't discuss that. And he was like, oh, well, what's wrong with 3 weeks? It's like he seems to just make decisions according to what he thinks is right. And he doesn't have conversations with Libby. I don't understand how you can do that when you're not funding anything financially. Even if you are, you still, a marriage is a partnership. He just seems to have no respect for her. I don't, anyways. It's like he decides what he wants and then he tells her, you just have to accept it. That's just the way it is. Like, as if her perspective doesn't matter. And I will give it to her. She does attempt to communicate in an assertive way. She tells him, this is how I'm feeling. You're not, and he's the one who just doesn't care about communication. Like, he doesn't try to compromise. Like, it's like he doesn't know what compromise is. He doesn't understand that marriage is compromise. It's not you just my way or the highway and that's it. So the mom, so Libby goes to buy a dress, and I didn't understand why. Because didn't you have a dress from when you first got married? Why are you buying another dress? But she's buying another dress, and her sisters and her mom are with her, and she's saying that I think the reason actually is because they're getting married in the Orthodox Church, Christian church, and so she needs to be covered up. She needs to be dressed conservatively. Maybe her initial dress wasn't conservative. I don't know. I didn't watch their original season, so I don't know what she was wearing. So I don't know how her dress looked. That is. So, so the mom was like, "Oh, I don't understand why she has to conform to like what they want. Why shouldn't it be? She has her own personality and her own values." And I'm like, because she's going to their country and getting married in that church, and she's marrying a man from that country. Like, she's trying to respect their culture. I was like, what are you talking about? Like her family dislikes Andre so much that they don't even use logic sometimes. Like, yeah, he's not likable, he's rude, he's disrespectful, but her wanting to respect their culture and traditions, that makes sense. If you marry somebody from a different culture and tradition and you're going to go and get married in their country, you have to respect that culture and tradition. Like, that's just common sense. Like, what are you talking about? Anyways, so I will say that one of the sisters two of them started crying because they were like, oh, I'm not going to get to see you get married in this dress. And I'm like, but you saw her get married already. Like, what? And she was saying that she thinks that he did this on purpose because he didn't want them to come. And I was like, oh yeah, all day. Definitely. And so, but I will say that Andre is being selfish, and I'm saying Andre on purpose because he don't deserve for me to pronounce his name properly. He's, I don't like him. So he's only thinking about himself. He's only thinking about what he wants. He's not thinking about how Libby feels or how her family feels. Of course, because he doesn't like them, and he barely has respect for Libby. Now, I could be wrong, but what I'm going to say is what we see him display on this show doesn't appear to be respect. Maybe he respects her off camera in their regular life. So that's them. I'm getting annoyed, more and more annoyed with them. Last season when I saw them, I was just annoyed with him, and I was like, Libby's okay. But now they're both annoying me. So, mm, mm. Okay, Sinjin and Tanya. Sinjin is preparing to go on a job interview at a bar, an Irish pub, and Tanya needed him to help her to get her clothes together and go take a shower. And it was, I mean, part of me was feeling like maybe we didn't need to see all that. It wasn't TMI, but it was just kind of like, um, I don't know. I just feel like it was a private moment. It was, I mean, it's the mundane, right? But uh, he's doing the best he can to be a supportive husband. Well, kind of, and helping her. I know she has that severe injury. I had actually injured my foot last year, and at first I needed help, but then I got a chair like in the shower, and I would just use my crutches so that I could shower myself. Of course, I'm not married, so maybe if I had a man, I would have asked him to carry me. But at the same time, you want to reestablish your independence. But I understand. I think her injury is more severe than mine. But I had a boot. I had a broken bone in my foot, in my ankle actually. But anyway, um, so I know how hard that is. But anyways, um, so he goes and he's doing the interview. You can tell he's a little nervous. I don't know how prepared he was for the interview because the guy asked him, tell me about your experience being a bartender. He starts going on about all his other experience. And he said the same thing kind of like he he said something similar to what Larissa said, which is that he gets talkative when he's nervous. He didn't really talk. He did finally get to his bartending experience. He only has about a year. I don't know how much years of experience you need to have to get hired as a bartender, but yeah. So he apparently is not familiar with Guinness beer, which apparently they sell a lot of in Irish pubs, and so it didn't sound like he really was going to get the job. And he was telling the guy too much. He was not telling him enough of what he could do for him, and he didn't need to know everything about your wife and your struggles and all of that. But you could tell he's stressed out and he probably needs someone to talk to. But that wasn't the time. And so it was awkward. It was definitely awkward. It was a little hard to watch. Um, so then we see Tanya go to see her doctor, and he's giving her the results or his comments on an MRI and an X-ray I think they did on her foot, and the doctor is telling her that she might start having problems with arthritis at some point. I think he said her foot was healing, but once it heals, she might have problems with arthritis, and she was shocked because, of course, she's 30 years old, and also she was asking, how much longer before my foot might be healed and I can go back to work. And he was saying in probably another 6 weeks, but he's not sure whether or not she's going to be able to work a job where she gets to stand up so much. So, I was wondering if Tanya, I know she did the witch doctor training, but I'm wondering if she doesn't have any skills that, could require sitting down, or if maybe she could start working on a business. I don't know if the witch doctor stuff lends to soaps or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what that was she learned, but if any of that could be translated into a business, maybe she could start working on that. Um, I don't know. So, but that's sobering. I feel her because I was there a year ago but I wasn't told I was going to have any problems like that. And I did ask I asked the doctor, will there be any residual effects? And so I understand what she's going through to an extent. So when she got home and Sinjin got home, because he stayed at the bar, the guy offered him to take the drink. And I think it's because he could see, hey, you're going through a lot and you ain't about to get this job, so you need this. But I was like, man, he shouldn't have taken that drink. But because it does seem like he got drunk, and she's telling him about what the doctor said, and he did not respond in a supportive manner. He got aggravated and was like, "Oh, he said you were supposed to get that in your 50s," and because he's drunk, he's not providing the support that she needs at that moment. And I was just like, "Oh Lord, this." Oh wow. So, um, mm. Next, I'm going to talk about Angela and Michael real quick. Nothing happened. Well, Angela went to talk to her lawyer, and her lawyer gave her an update on the K1 and said that the case had been brought over here. Blase, blase, blase. We know that there is a travel ban from Nigeria here now. She was telling him that she's going to go marry Michael in Nigeria. She also wanted him to draft a will for her. She's going to leave half of her assets, I think, to Michael, and the rest was going to go to her grandchildren. Um, and she goes and tells Skylar, "Hey, I talked to the lawyer, got my will in order. Will you come to Nigeria to be my witness to us getting married?" Skylar's like, "No. Listen, I got a job, I got kids. If you're gone and I'm gone, who's gonna take care of our mother?" Which that's what I was like, hold up. She wants her. Who is gonna take care of her mother if both of them are gone? I was so confused. Who was gonna watch those kids? But so yeah, and Angela is mad. She's disappointed. She's angry. And then she tries to get Skylar to talk to Michael. And I'm like, if you can't convince her, why would Michael convince her? She said she doesn't support this marriage. She doesn't know Michael. She doesn't trust Michael. Like, I didn't understand the point of that. So Skylar ain't doing it. Clearly, Angela and him got married. They posted those photos months ago. So somebody was her, somebody decided to be her witness and come with her. Now, Paul and, he says Karini, but I really don't know if it's probably Karine, but I don't know. So Karini, and Paul, they get to the airport. They arrive in Louisville, Kentucky. His mom is there at the airport to pick them up. And, we see him with all the luggage like we've seen a million times before. And um, when they're driving to the hotel that she offered to pay for them to stay in for a few days, she's saying, "Hey, she's reiterating why she doesn't want them to stay with her, and because of Paul wanting him to be independent and everything." And the baby starts crying, and Karini takes the baby out of the car seat. Paul starts flipping out about how it's illegal, leave the baby in there, but I think he should not have reacted that way. It's reminded me of when Kalani had reacted the same way when Asuelu did the same thing. But these individuals don't seem to understand that they married people literally from villages. Like, people who live in villages, they don't know that it's a law in this country that you have to keep a baby in a car seat. They don't know that. And so how are you going to get mad at them for something they don't know? You didn't tell them that. Like, why are you flipping out? He could have been like, "Hey, Karini, you need to put the baby back. That's in he could have been more calm about it. He could have waited to talk to her later. He's too old for this. He's too old to be having a temper tantrum like that." The mom was saying, "Let it go. You're acting like an idiot." It was very dysfunctional. And he got out the car, and then later when they're in the hotel room, Karini's asking, "Why can't we stay with your parents?" Because she wants to have that support. And he's telling her, "Hey, I'm an adult. I need to be independent and take care of, you and our child." And that's what my mom was trying to hammer home to me. And although that's true, at the same time, Karine is a young girl, Karini, and she's like, what, 22? She said to herself, "I thought I was going to have more support here." And she needs that because she's coming from a place where she had her whole family. And so, I felt for her in that moment. And part of me was like, you know what? His mom could have allowed Karini and the baby to stay with her. Karini and the baby shouldn't have to suffer because of Paul's incompetence and immaturity and lack of preparation. She knows that Karini is coming from a place where she's away from her family for the first time in her life, and she's still very young. And it's not her fault that Paul is irresponsible. So I think I wish that she had let Karini and the baby um, stay with her and let Paul stay in the hotel. So that was their scene. Now, Asuelu and Kalani. So Asuelu is talking to his sister on the phone, and she's like, "What the money? Why haven't you been sending us money?" And no, hey, how are you doing? How are your kids? How is life? How are you adjusting? She immediately goes to money. I was like, okay. No smile, no glad to see you, brother. Just money. That's it. And he's like, oh, don't our other brothers and sisters send you money? And she was like, yeah, they send money. You're the only one who doesn't. So, and I don't think she understands that he's working a low wage part time job. I don't think she understands that. So, anyways, and so has a wife and 2 kids and bills. Um, so she also lets him know that there's a measles outbreak in Samoa, and because he's telling her that they want to come and visit, and she said that some children have died, and so he lets Kalani know, and they go to see a doctor to find out about getting the kids vaccinated. Usually, kids get vaccinated for that. They said between 12 and 15 months. Um, but the doctor said we could do it. You could do it earlier, and she asked, would you recommend us going? And she's like, that's your choice. But if it can wait, I would wait. Asuelu still wants to go. Kalani doesn't, obviously, because she's a responsible parent. So Asuelu, okay. And then when the doctor leaves, he was like, was that a doctor or a nurse? And she was like, the doctor, obviously. Why would you think that? He was like, I thought doctor is boy. So listen, I thought that he was just immature. And I realized that Asuelu is not only, it's beyond that. He's simple, and I don't know anything about Samoa. And after watching, I said, let me Google this place because I am so confused about, because that right there revealed that he is cut off from the world. Like he may not be familiar with the modern world, that he doesn't know that women are doctors. Like, I was like, and then even the way he said it, I mean, I know that English is his second language, but even when he was describing what he likes about coffee, it was like that of a child. Like, it's not only that he's immature, it's that he's really not educated or aware of the world, you know? And I'm just like, Kalani, girl, you done messed up. And this relationship is not gonna last. And it's because he's not an adult and he doesn't understand the world. Asuelu is he's backward. Like, he doesn't know the world. Like, he doesn't understand the reality of marriage, being a father, being a parent, being responsible. He's not even putting his children's safety first. He's willing to risk their lives for something that can wait. I don't understand what the rush is. I understand he misses his family, but your children's safety is first, not what you want first. I can't. I'm done, y'all. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, again, please like, comment, and subscribe. And follow me at Mac Reviews. 90 Day the Other Way is on right now. I'm going to be live tweeting. So at Mac Reviews. Have a good night. Bye.